Hi, Legalist. Today we are starting our journey on law and self-realization. And I've got my dice over here. So in order to start, we have to roll a 6. By rolling a 6, it means that we are born into the game, into this world, into this experience that you and I are having right now as we sit here. And we go from number 1, which is Genesis and birth, to number 6, which is delusion. So today our topic is going to be delusion together with whatever number we're going to get here, which is where we're going to land on the shelf. So let's roll the dice. Okay, so we landed on number 4. That is that section over there. And in each section, I've got 6 books. So we're going to roll again to see which book we're going to land on. Number 1. Okay, we're reading from left to right. Okay. So we are on civil procedure. Okay, so we're going to be talking about civil procedure and how it can relate to our life in terms of delusion. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be doing some contemplation, and I'll be playing some music. If you want to skip this part, I'm going to leave a comment in the comment section of which time point you can go to, or you can just relax and enjoy the music and maybe brainstorm some ideas with me. So, I don't know about you guys, but I found that quite tricky, and yet at the same time quite ironic that we ended up obviously on delusion and procedure. Procedure being very much about control and rules, and delusion being very much about attachment to our role. And in being attached to our role, whatever it is, there's a belief that we are in control of situation and outcomes. Now, only the chart will tell us whether we are really in control or not, and that's something we on a journey to discover. But after a lot of contemplation, I picked up three major things when looking at civil procedure and delusion. Okay, so the first is that when we land on the 6 in the chart, it comes from birth. So like I said, to start the chart, the process, we have to throw 6 so that we are birthed, and then we end up on number 6, which is delusion. And to start any procedure in court, we actually have to follow a procedure. We have to be birthed into the proceedings, right? And we do that by making sure we take in the right type of like pleadings. We have to make sure that we do it in a certain time. We have to follow the correct forms. You have to disclose a cause of action depending on your case. So that is a type of birthing into, in actual fact, all of us. Because before you go to court, you have to follow the procedure, right? Even if you're defending a case. So procedure is then about a birthing into the court system, right? Or the legal system, which is then brings us to delusion. And I was thinking about it, but please let me know your thoughts. I would say that procedure is somewhat delusional because when it comes to procedure, we're not concerned with the substantive issues of a case, right? So we're more looking at, like I said, the rules, but what your case is about, the merits, it's not even relevant at that stage, right? And what's going to give you justice at the end of the day? It's not the rules, it's the merits of your case. So the rules are actually somewhat of a distraction. And if you've ever been to court or you're an attorney, you'll know very well that when you're litigating, the other side will often try and bring up procedure, right, to get your case dismissed. For example, if you're out of time, or they'll say something like, you didn't disclose a cause of action, or you didn't serve this correctly, or do this affidavit correctly. And those are all issues that, like I say, don't get to the real issues of the case, which is what ultimately the judge or the magistrate needs to hear, right? So the second thing then that got me thinking about procedure and delusion is that a judge needs to be unattached. So if you go back to my notes when I was doing the reading and studying, one of the major things about delusion is attachment, right? So a judge or magistrate effectively, like the lady justice who is blindfolded, has to be unattached and an impartial umpire. So we could say that he cannot be deluded, which sounds all fair and well, right? But that brings me to the third point on procedure and delusion, right? And that is, let's say you didn't follow the rules in your case. Let's say you were out of time, and there's a good reason for why you were out of time. Maybe something was happening in your personal life. Maybe you're not an attorney or a professional and you didn't know any better. By the time you saw an attorney, you were out of time. But you brought your case anyway, right? And what the rules actually do is they allow for a judge or a magistrate to condone non-compliance with the rules, right? Provided you can show a good reason for why you didn't comply, and of course the merits of your case, right? So what that means then is that a judge or a magistrate who's, remember, unattached, not getting involved in what's happening, not interested, is completely blind, right? Now has to effectively unblind himself and say, okay, you didn't follow the procedure, look into your case, listen, right? And then decide based in the interest of justice whether your case will be heard or not. So I hope that was somewhat insightful. It definitely was for me. And you know what? There's no chance. It's actually quite laughable that we landed on the very first throw of the dice that we landed up on delusion tying in with procedure. So I will see you guys soon. That's it for today's video. Bye.